Hey again, Zooby-Doo77 here, yet another edition of the Mario Kart 64 VA Tournaments Archive. Before we head into the two longest tracks, we got the Stump, return of the Stump the Fans trivia question around. Now we have a 200 win club in the VA tournament. Name all the active players that are in contention of clinching coming in 2022. And I'm talking all active players. I know there are some that are in contention that'll throw you off, but hopefully you can name all of them. And we will reveal the answers when we get to Toad's Turnpike. In the meantime, let's get back to the action. Up next, it's called the Road. It's called the Rainbow Road. Oh, and Jake going for fast strats while everybody else ski jumps. I'm sorry to say, but that's the wrong kind of Olympics for that. Right? Alright, Alright, so Ngamer getting triple reds and probably clinching an early lead against Stinson's one green shell. Oh, but Stinson's green knocks into one of Ngamer's reds. But Ngamer's got two more. Or to catch him, so let's see what happens here. And he's got one more red shell on standby, too. Oh! Oh, Stinson got a boo, though, so Jake is holding off on the lightning. Oh, but he reappeared, so... Oh, let's see how this... Well, then again, let's wait for him to use it. Meanwhile, Ngamer got a decoy. Or to use... Oh, Stinson took Ngamer's red shell. In the process. Which is why he has a decoy into two reds, but... Jake finally using his bolt. But Stinson got a deke behind him. But that red shell's going to Jake because he was in second. Meanwhile, Ngamer using a lightning bolt. Meanwhile, Stinson can't even use the boo while small. But wait a minute. Jake ran over Stinson and he drops to fourth. But Stinson now uses the boo, gets the conga line away from Jew. And meanwhile, we're at that time again, guys. Time for fun facts. Now, John Jew Badaski. Apparently his criminal report said he was arrested in Russia for dominating in Kart. Turns out you can dominate too much in Kart and be thrown in the brig for it. That's literally a law in Russia. Turns out. It's kind of like Monopoly, where you roll double 3 times, you go to jail. Meanwhile, Stinson. Now Stinson, he actually became a member of the Faux Firefighters Club of the FFC because he's actually wearing orange and blue. Ooh, maybe. Well, okay, maybe it's not that true, but he's also one of the members, one of the only 2 members in the 200 Wins Club. But remember, Stump the Fans question, we're not looking for players that are already in. We're looking for players that can and clinch. Meanwhile, back to fun facts. Ngamer, you wouldn't believe this. He's the literal champion of playing Mario Kart 64 while downing tons of cheese. Last to stop eating while playing. Was the contest he actually won. It's not a very well-known category, and because of that, at the internet, if you could try to Google the competition, it'll never come up. That's literally how popular this competition is. Meanwhile, Jake had a recent PA meetup, Philadelphia meetup, technically. It was a tournament of who can play Mario Kart while being upside down. And Jake's real vision is actually upside down vision, which actually translates to right side up over here. And it's weird. I think Beck's stream, when it comes to VA, has this vision in right side up. It's literally a lot of editing right there. But yeah, Jake is the literal upside down Mario Kart 64 master. Try that on for size, Eyes Matthias and Dan. And maybe Abney in the process. Meanwhile, let's get back to the action. Jew and Ngamer trying to catch up to the top two, who are already trailblazing ahead. Head into DK and Yoshi's curve. Or they're way out in front. Oh, but Jew getting triple reds as Ngamer pulls away with a star. Or what's the next item? Oh, single shroom. But he's got to watch. But of course he's gonna watch out for the chain chomp. Every member knows the 3 chain chomps are always right there. Eric, depends on how far you are in the race. You got to know the placement clearly, and plan the line in advance. Ants as well. Meanwhile, Jake and Stinson over Bowser's spiral. But Ngamer trying to shroom up, but he's clipping into the guardrail. Slips over to banana peel. Oh, man. And he gets hit by a chain chomp. Meanwhile, Jake and Stinson are in the top 2. Ooh, but who's getting third? It looks like Ngamer will take it. Get away from Jew. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. As Jake is a 1-track radius ahead of Stinson. On to Wario Stadium now. Out the second longest course. Probably one of the quickest courses if you're on the shortcut world. But we don't have shortcut records here. So. Oh, man. Anyway, on to the items. Ngamer getting a star. Are trying to catch up to Jake, who is in the lead with a green shell right now. Not going to get up there, though. Oh, but Stinson passes, though. Stinson with a nice slide shroom there over the All right, on to the uneven hurdles. Oh, that is still a close race. I think Stinson threw his green backwards, if I'm correct. Meanwhile, Jake getting a star. Looks like he might clinch the lead. Need any back items? Oh, triple mush, but doesn't really do anything. Ink for Meanwhile, we got. All right. Meanwhile, on to lap number 2, we got Jew getting a lightning bolt. Old as the crew heads into lap number 2. Well, I mean, Stinson and Jake have already begun number 2. It's just the last 2 that are going into it. Meanwhile, oh, Jew getting a bad tumble there. But the bolt compensates for that. As he will push into third. But it's going to take a lot to get up to Jake and Stinson. Oh, and he bonks off the walls. I mean, this is Mario Kart 64, not pinball. Know your lines. Meanwhile, Stinson getting over the uneven hurdles for a second time. I'm trying to stay stable through Gallop Alley, or Gallop Lane, whatever you want to call it. Meanwhile, heading into the Grande ramp as Jake, way behind with a star. Meanwhile, Ngamer sitting pretty with a triple mush, and oh no, he's not, in 4th actually. I was going to say, if you're 4th with triple mush, you are not sitting pretty right there. Meanwhile, Stinson on the final lap. Jake Ake's also on there now. Al still holding on to that star. Or can he find a way to catch up? Alright, meanwhile, we got Jake and Stinson. Oh, Jude's got a bolt. Ult here. This is going to get interesting. Oh, but he uses it now. Oh, I mean, he could have just waited until somebody was at the grande size ramp. But hey, I guess he wanted to catch up sooner, so I guess maybe take your chances while you're at it. At it in his mind. Meanwhile, Speaking of the Grande ramp, we are about to head into it with Stinson and Jake now. Oh, but Jew gaining a lot of ground out here. Jake finally using his star. But Stinson rounding the final bend. Can Jake catch him? It doesn't look like it, as he averts the fake item box. Stinson will take it. Jake in second. Drew rounding the final bend, and he will take third in a very, very comfortable gap between third and fourth. Meanwhile, score recap before we sign off for today. Jake in the lead with 21. Stinson in catching up by 1 point, 19 points. Ngamer with a single track, a very basic track from Mario Kart DS. And we got Jew with a bit of his 8 cut off, as he's 2 points behind Ngamer. Tomorrow the third quarter ends. We'll see you then.